we should talk a little bit about Superman, because there's obviously been so many screenings and a lot of people talking about them, and certainly a lot of the influencers that were invited for loving Superman stuff and loving DC stuff have loved. They've just said it's just the most amazing thing ever. A lot of those people said the same exact thing about The Flash, by the way. But we are starting to hear a little bit more detailed stuff from some people who have seen it. And a lot of people think it's going to be divisive, right? That there's going to be people out there that absolutely love it, or you're going to hate it. Not too much in the middle. I saw Robert Meyer Burnett talking about it. I've seen other people as well saying that this is going to cause a lot of love it or hate it types of reactions, which for the people that love it, I'm sure that's going to be great for them. I don't know about the people that are going to hate it. Now, we have heard that it's going to be a very comic booky movie, and some people would probably love that. Some people might be a little bit confused with all the characters they get introduced with really no kind of lead up or whatever, because they're betting that people will know who these characters are going to be, which I think it's a line that you have to walk with. We've talked about this before. It's a line you have to walk with, like making a movie that hardcore fans are going to love, but that also is going to be open for the general audience to come and support your movie that you've spent hundreds of millions of dollars on. We did also get a couple new clips, Jay. Did you see the new Crypto clip?
Yeah, where he's like an untrained dog.
And one thing we've heard consistently is that the movie is just goofy. There's a lot of kind of goofy kind of humor in it, which is I think it's going to be divisive for a lot of fans who didn't want this to turn into Guardians of the Galaxy.
So you know? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you think like he's more Peter Krill than he is Superman? Maybe that's what people are saying. You know, from Guardians of the Galaxy, he's more Chris Pratt.
Could you just throw Star-Lord in there in this sequence and have it be the same type of stuff? You're starting to hear that a lot.
Yeah.
But here's the scene in question.
What is this? Crypto! What the hey, dude? I thought you destroyed the whole Superman robots. I thought I told you to keep an eye on him.
We feed the canine, but he is unruly. And he realizes we are not flesh and blood and couldn't, in our heart of hearts, care less whether he lives or dies.
What the heck, bro?
He said, what the hey, actually, which I think is kind of funny. What the hey? Superman won't even say heck. Dude, Crypto, there are going to be so many people that absolutely love Crypto.
Yeah.
And it might drive everyone else crazy. It's tough I think it's a tough thing to bring Crypto into live action. I genuinely do. And he is going to be a major focal part of this movie. He's going to be everywhere. He's going to be fighting with Superman, plot lines involving Crypto being kidnapped, like all of this stuff. And the Superman robots are, again, stuff we've been hearing about this, everything from the way Superman is, from the way the robots are, from Crypto, it is going to be a like it or love it. Very few in between. It's going to be a polarizing movie, which I don't know if that's exactly what you want when you need to set off this big DC universe.
Correct.
Superman robots.
But this is James Gunn's thing. I just wanted to play something from David Corenswet because of all the things that I don't really like about the marketing. I have genuinely liked listening to David Corenswet talk about, what the character means to him. And I do think he cares a lot about it. And there was this part where somebody says, what is being Superman? What does this role mean? Like, blah, 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 all of this shit.
What does the character mean to you?
Well, the way I hear that question is, what does the character mean to me in my life? And what it means to me in my life and as an actor is...
And he has already talked about, just for reference, he had already talked about, like, in terms of what Superman represents and, like, all of these things to people. He's talking about, like, for him, what the role means.
A role where I can honestly say, and I did ask myself this question, if this is the only role that I get to play for the rest of my life. And when I say the rest of my life, I don't mean that I'm playing it for the rest of my life. I'm saying I get to do this movie, maybe I get to do another movie, and then I don't get to play another role in my life. Would I do it? And the answer is yes. And I think I've probably stolen that from Christopher Reeve in one of the interviews that he gave. Because especially back then, there was a feeling of if you're going to play this guy, you might not get to play other parts because people aren't going to be able to see you as anything other than Superman. Where now I think people see it a little more as a launching pad for all sorts of other possibilities. But you have to, when you take a role that's going to be this visible and this iconic, even just visually iconic, and it's your face and the underwear. I wanted to be prepared for the possibility that it wouldn't lead to a bunch of other things, that this would be the thing. And I felt really lucky that when I asked myself that question, the answer came back, yep, somebody's got to play this part. And if you're the person to play it and you give up everything else to do it, it would be worth doing.
Jay, what are your thoughts?
I mean, he is right about that when you take roles like this, at least in the past, people don't see you as anything else, so you might not get a chance to do that. He did say the word iconic, probably not the best choice of words right now, being thrown around in superhero franchises, but it seems like he really appreciates playing Superman. So I guess the thing is about the actors, though, is that they basically have to do the vision of the director, right? So it's like he's going to try. I guess he brought to life what James Gunn's vision of Superman is, which might not be what other people think he is. So I guess we'll wait and see. I will say this. I do want to share this real quick. This might not mean absolutely nothing to nothing, but some of the marketing, I'm seeing a lot of posts of people at gas stations, 7-Elevens. They're starting to bring back like DC Comics. And they're posting this and they're just like, man, this is incredible. I can't believe that's for a lot of people like myself. 7-Eleven was the only place I was able to buy comic books as a kid. And, you know, there's a whole time where they took that out. So I didn't really buy much DC stuff, but for whatever it's worth, I thought that was kind of neat to see that there's a lot of posts of people posting. They're like, my gosh, I finally see comics in 7-Eleven again, but it's all Superman stuff. So I don't know if it's exactly related to the marketing. I don't have any reference on that, but I think that's kind of neat. I think that's kind of cool that that's there. And now, but if they sell any, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, they're going all out with the marketing. They're trying to put it everywhere. They're trying to put Superman everywhere. We've heard it's possibly up to a $200 million marketing campaign, which is wild. And the movie needs to be big. This cannot be a $600 million movie. It needs to be massive, and they're pulling out all the stops. They're doing all the interviews. They're going everywhere. And the problem for me is the more I see from I like a lot of like the little dumb stuff they're doing in terms of the marketing, some of the little behind the scenes videos and the dumb skits they have rolling these guys out there. They did the Full House parody with some of the actors and stuff like that. I like that shit. The problem is what I've seen from the trailers and from the movie, I'm not feeling that at all, you know? Maybe we'll be surprised, but I'm just not feeling it from what I see, what they're showing me of the actual fucking movie.
No, it's a lot of defeat, a lot of yelling, and a lot of goofiness. So
yeah, like regardless of how much like chemistry that you see between Corn Sweat and the actress playing Lois and these interviews and these little skits they're doing, like all that stuff, regardless of that, I need to see it in the fucking movie. Did you see in one of that there is a shot where they left like an upskirt shot of Lois Lane in some of the marketing, which is kind of crazy.
Where she's on a desk and she turns around.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw everybody posting that. I saw everyone posting that. Yeah.
Which
like her underwear shows for like a second.
Bro, I'm trying to find this fucking clip and it's just porn on Twitter. Jesus Christ. So it's somebody says, let's get something clear. This is from Superman's marketing team. Was filmed, checked, and distributed by the team. There's no way they didn't notice Lois flashing. Stop your pearl clutching if you have an issue. Take it up with Gunn and his team. They knew what they were doing. And this is the little sequence. And it's like nothing, but it is wild that kind of got into, I don't want to sit there and like pause it on or anything, but that made it into official marketing for the movie. Which is kind of crazy, but it is what it is. What, you guys thought you're going to see? You thought I was going to show you pussy Everyone's like, oh, that's not. You thought I was going to show you fucking pussy lips on YouTube? Is that what you thought I was going to do? Yeah, wait, just let me show Lois Lane spreading. You thought you're going to get a close-up clit shot or something? Like, what did you fucking expect? God, fucking dummies. You can look it up, though. You look up fucking Lois Lane upskirt or Lois Lane flash on Twitter. You will not find that. It'll be a bunch of just fucking porn and everything.